welcome to Aodhamair's Tutorials. This is my Halloween special. I opted for something that would go with my coloured hair. This is my take on the creepy candy doll, and as you can see, the hair accessories and the skirt that I'm wearing. So keep on watching if you want to see how to make them, and they're really quick and easy. I did them within one day, so if you have half a day's left, I think you can do this. Hello everyone, this is going to be my first bit of my tutorial of my Halloween costume, and what I'm doing here is I'm making candy out of polymer clay, which is going to be part of my hair accessory that I'll be wearing in my hair. I'm going to start off with the black polymer clay. I'm going to make it into a tube, and around that I'll put the yellow polymer clay, which will give us, make sure that your clay is nice and soft before you start shaping. What you may need to do is take something to roll it out. I'm just using a pencil here. Why not? Actually, I don't need that many, so I'm just gonna keep it quite thick. Give it a little gentle roll so the yellow will cover all of the black, and sort of bang the end a couple of times so it's flat. And then it will look something like that. Try and get the black part as round as you can. So I'm just gonna cut a slice of that, sort of appropriate. It's the first one's done. Now I'm gonna move on to the square candies. With these square what you want to do is make sure you have a ball, roll that flat out with well, in this case I'm using my pencil. After yellow, we'll have a layer of black, and then a layer of white. So you have that, stacking on top of the yellow. Move on to the white. Something like that. Place on top of the rest. And now you take your knife and try and cut as neatly as you can through all the layers and make it into a square. Get it unstuck from the table. And that is what you end up with. But most people will recognise that. So, I'll just show you what I have so far. I think it looks quite tasty. The last shape I'm going to be making is going to be a white inside with a black outer layer. It doesn't need to be as thick, something like that. And I'm going to roll the white in that. Cut off the ends. There you go, one of those yolks. For leftover colours, you can sort of mix them together and twist them and make a long snake shape out of it, and then roll that up and you will have a lollipop. Now, I wish I had removed the black though. You just need to attach a stick. I'm now gonna light up my oven and bake the polymer clay for as long as it says on here, which is at 110 Celsius or 230 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Now we're gonna continue on with our candies, which I had in the oven. They're now all hardened. What we're going to do is going to make them into a hair clip. I've already done one of my two. They're not going to be exactly the same, but to give you the general idea, this is sort of what it's going to look like. The candies, obviously a little bit over the top, but it's for a costume, so it will have to be like that. So we're going to take our polymer clay candies, some felt. I also have a hair clip that I'm going to be attaching this onto my trusty glue gun. And I have some ribbons here as well, which I might use. The rainbow coloured ribbons that I had before. Also, I have more of this kind of cool fabric, which I think would also be very cool if you want to make fairy wings or dragon wings or something like that. It could be very, very cool. But I thought it looked very much like candy wrappers, so I already wrapped up one of my candies in it and it looks fairly convincing. What we're going to do first is take the hair clip and check how big our bit of felt needs to be. I'm just putting it on the felt and I'm going to be cutting around that like so. And then I'll round up the edges. That's big enough. I opted for a very bright pink because I thought it went very nice with this candy theme, and if I show a little bit of it, it doesn't really matter. But if you want it to be completely hidden, you may want to pick something that's slightly less bright. So I'm taking this piece of felt and I'm using my glue gun to attach that. Only the top and bottom because these like clip back and forth by springing. I'm afraid that otherwise it might come off. And then you can take your fake candy, and I'm just gonna arrange them in a way I like. When you're happy with your placement, you can just take your glue gun and stick it on. Since my left and my right clip are not going to be exactly the same, I think I might actually stack these a bit more and have one of these mint candies on the side as well. Like that. And when you're happy with the way that looks, then just take a glue gun, squeeze a fairly generous amount onto your candies and stick them onto the felt. And that's as simple as it is. Like that. And if you want, you can add some ribbon. I also still have feathers, which could be fun as well. I picked out a couple of feathers. When using feathers on hair clips, you always want to sort of look what direction your clip is going onto your head and have the curvature of your feathers follow your head. That way your clip will always sit the nicest on top of your head. Put a dab of the glue in there and then I'm going to stick it under here. That's the end result of that one. Side by side. It's the one with the mega bow, and that's the one with the feathers and the ribbon. For the second part of the Halloween outfit, I'll be making a rainbow coloured tutu skirt, and I believe you can get strips of netting tulle already as strips, but I just bought a large piece of fabric and cut strips from it. You will need these in different colours, obviously, an elastic that will go around your waist. You will need needle and thread, or you can sew it on the sewing machine. You need to make this into a belt. What you will need to determine, I just used the width of my fabric, which is 140 centimeters, and that means you will use these strips double, like so. Which means my skirt will be 70 centimeters long. Now I probably will cut a bit off the end, but you will need to measure from your waist until whatever length you want your skirt to be. And that's the most important part. So once you've got these all cut, I'm gonna sew my elastic band in the right length, and then we'll get started. I'm gonna make a little bit of an overlap and I'm gonna sew this through twice. Once that's nice and attached, you'll end up with this. Now you will need to find something that this will go around nicely, so it will keep it slightly stretched. You can either use the back of a chair or maybe a book, so I'm going to see what I can come up with and I'll get back to you. What I came up with was a clothes hamper. So we will have this. I'm going to get my strips of material and I'm going to start with the first colour of my rainbow, which is going to be pink. So, pink. So you have these strips. I made them about somewhere between 12 and 15 centimeters in width, which I believe is around 6 inches, maybe a little bit less. What we'll do is fold them in half. You have this, and take your clothes hamper, put it behind, grab your loop and pull it through, and then tighten a knot. Try and make it as tight as you can. Keep adding your strips and work your way around like this. Now, I've never done this before, and most of the descriptions of how to do this online I found make them for children, and the description I found used 40 strips for a child's tutu. Now, I cut about 10 of each colour and I have 6 colours, so I should have 60 strips, but if I don't have enough I have some more material to cut strips from. I also found a description online of someone who suggested if you use a elastic with holes in it, you can add a second layer, which might actually be really nice, but I couldn't find any elastic like that. So I'll have to do with a single layer. It's okay for a Halloween costume, I guess. If you can find it, get the sort of softer feeling stuff, because I noticed that the pink is quite stiff in comparison to the orange. The orange tightens a lot easier than the pink did. Gotta say, this goes quite quickly, so this might be a good last minute Halloween idea. Obviously my colours are quite bold because of the look I'm going for, but if you do this with nice soft sort of pastels, it can be very pretty. You could also do a fairy princess skirt or something like that. I think it's good if I do one close-up of the knot, the system I'm using, in case you couldn't see. So fold your piece of fabric in half, grab it like so, put it behind here, and then tuck your loopy end, tuck the ends from the other side through, and tighten together like that. I added on a couple of extra strips, and I also found this cute rainbow ribbon, which I made into a couple of bow ties, which I also have sewn onto here. So this is the end result. Quite fun, quick to do, very good last minute Halloween option. And this is the finished look with the hair, the makeup and the outfit, the rainbow skirt. Obviously I already had this corset, but you could also wear a kind of a sweet looking blouse or something like that. Something you might already have in your closet. Thank you for watching once again, and if you want to be notified of my new videos, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Also check out my Facebook page if you want to see pictures of the final result, also with my contact lenses in that haven't arrived yet. And I'll see you next time. Bye!